Okay, good day, grade 9s. Here is your next activity that we are marking. I said you had to do page 2 and 3 for me. I really want to run through this because it's a lot of working or marking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark page 2, stop the video, load it up, mark page 3 because otherwise it's going to be a very long video. So for number 5A, I wrote this down. Remember, you guys, the most important thing when we are using the ladder method is that we are only allowed to use prime numbers. So you can't use any other numbers. And I've picked up during the test that we've marked that you guys just start dividing with 4, dividing with 9, dividing with anything else. You're not allowed to divide with anything that's not a prime number. So if we go to 236, 236 divided by 2 gives me a 118. 118 divided by 2 gives me 59. Then I try to divide by 2, try to divide by 3, doesn't work. I can't use 4. 5 doesn't work. I can't use 6. 7 doesn't work. I can't use 8. I cannot use 9. Cannot use 10. 11 doesn't work. I cannot use 12. 13 doesn't work. I cannot use 14, not 15, not 16, 17 doesn't work. Can't use 18, 19 doesn't work. Then usually the number will be a prime number. So I divide by 59, it gives me 1. They asked us to give the prime factors of the following numbers. So this is the method to get the prime factors. You have to then go and say 236 is equal to your prime factors, which is 2 times 2 times 59. And then because there's two 2's, you can say it's 2 to the power of 2 times 59 to write it in short. Then 267, if you divide it by 3, you get 89. 89 divided by 89 because that's the only prime number that divides into it. So then this is my answer. My prime factors for 67 is 3 times 89. Then number C, 540 divided by 2 gives me 270. Divide by 2 gives me 135. Divide by 5 is 27. Divide by 3 is 9. I cannot now say go and divide by 9. I have to use prime numbers. So divide by 3 gives me 3. 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. So 540 is equal to 2 times 2 times 5 times 3 times 3 times 3. We usually try and go and write it in its order from small to big. So it's going to be 2 to the power of 2 because there's 2 of them, and 3 to the power of 3 because there's 3 of them, times 5. Then if we go to number D, number D says 940. I always start with 2. 940 divided by 2 gives me 470. Divide by 2 gives me 235. Divide by 5 gives me 47. And then there isn't another prime number. The next prime number is 47. So we divide with 47. Gives me 1. Therefore, 940 is equal to 2 times 2 times 5 times 47, which will be 2 to the power of 2 times 5 times 7. Number E was 258 divided by 2. Gives me 129 divided by 3. Gives me 43. Divided by 43 gives me 1. So therefore 258 is equal to 2 times 3 times 43. Then my last one there for number 5 was F. Number F was 465 divided by 5 gives me 93. Divided by 3 gives me 31. Divided by 31 gives me 1. So 465 is equal to 3 times 5 times 31. Remember I said we always try and write it from small to big. Okay, then number 6, I'm going to use the whole board for that. You guys, I'm going to do the first 3. I don't think I'm going to do all of them. If you understand the first 3, you'll understand the rest. I will put the rest answers on for you again like I did yesterday. Number 6A, they say give the lowest common multiple and the highest common factor of each of the following numbers. So of 100 and of 132. I'm going to do this as I taught my children, so those of you that are listening from another teacher, please bear with me. 100 divided by 2 gives me 50, divided by 2 gives me 25, divided by 5 gives me 5, divided by 5 gives me 1. 132 divided by 2 gives me 66, divided by 2 is 33, divided by 3 is 11, divided by 11 is 1. So then we're going to say 100 is equal to 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. And 132 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 11. Now, to get the highest common factor and the lowest common multiple, we need to go and find the groups. So here I've got one group, and one group gets represented here. So one group of 2 gets written down there. Another group of 2's. So another 2 gets written down. Then there's no 5, that's a group. There's no 3, that's a group. There can only be 2 in a group because there's only 2 numbers. So the highest common factor will be equal to 4. Lowest common multiple, I write down what I wrote here for the highest common factor. So it's going to be 2 times 2. So this group has already been used. This group has already been used. Now I write down everything else that's left. Times 3 times 5 times 5 times 11. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 11 gives me 3,300 for the lowest common multiple. I hope you are all still with me and that you understand what's going on. Okay, let's do number B. Number B was 378 as well as 252. So we're going to divide by 2. Gives me 189. Divide by 3. Gives me 63. Divide by 3 is 21. Divide by 3 is 7. Divide by 7 is 1. 252 divided by 2 gives me 126 divided by 2 gives me 63 divided by 3 is 21 divided by 2 is 7 divided by 3 is 7 divided by 7 is 1. So if I say 378, it's equal to 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 7. And 252 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 7. Okay, highest common factor, I need to get my groups. Lowest common multiple determines on the highest common factor. Okay, so I've got a group of 2's. So I go write down, this represents one group of 2's. There isn't another group of 2's, but there is a group of 3's. So I write down a group of 3's. Then there's another group of 3's. And there's also a group of 7's. So these are all the groups. So 2 times 3 times 3 times 7 gives me 126, which is my highest common factor. My lowest common multiple, I write all of these down. 2 times 3 times 3 times 7, as well as everything that has not been used. So this has been used, this has been used, this has been used, and that has been used. So there's a 2 left and there's a 3 left. So times 2 times 3. So I can say 2 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 3 times 7. and that is going to give me 756. Okay, number C. Number C is 625 together with 195. I can immediately see that 5 can go in there, so 625 divided by 5 gives me 125. Divided by 5 gives me 25. Divided by 5 is 5. Divided by 5 is 1. 195 divided by 5 gives me 39. Divided by 3 is 13. Divided by 13 is 1. So 625 is equal to 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And 195 is equal to 3 times 5 times 13. Remember, in small to big. Highest common factor, lowest common multiple. So there's no groups of 3s, but there's a group of 5s. And that is the only one, so we're going to write that down. LCM will be 5 times everything that has not been used. So I've used this group, so I'm going to have left 1, 2, 3, 5 times 3 times 13. So it will be 5 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3 times 13. So 5 to the power of 4 times 3 times 13 gives you 24,375. Okay, please let me know if you want me to do D, E, and F as well, but I hope by now that you've got this. Okay, let's do number 7. I'm also going to do only the first few. Number 7A. They said give the simple ratio for each of these. They're giving you 68 is to 34. So remember, you guys, to make this into the simplest form, we have to divide on both sides. So we're going to divide with 2 here, and we're going to divide with 2 there. So 68 divided by 2 is 34. And 34 divided by 2 gives me 17. Can it go any smaller? Can I say 34 divided by 17? Yes, I can, because it's a prime number. Divide by 17. Divide by 17. It's going to give me 2 to 1. If you went and you put 68 over 34 on your calculator, it would have given you 2. And remember, it's 2 over 1 as a fraction. So then it will be 2 over 1. Number B is 42 is to 63. If you put it on your calculator, 42 over 63, it gives you 2 over 3, which means your answer will be 2 is to 3. Let's see if we divide. If we divide here with 3 and we divide there with 3, 42 divided by 3 gives me 14. 63 divided by 3 gives me 21. Then I can still divide with 7. 14 divided by 7 gives me 2. 21 divided by 7 gives me 3. There's my answer. The same as the calculator. Number C, 64 is to 16. On your calculator, 64 over 16. Oh, you know. Gives you 4. Remember, it's over 1. So it's going to be 4 is to 1. So let's divide with 2. Divide with 2. 64 divided with 2 gives me 32 and 8. I can divide with 8. Divide with 8. It's going to give me 4 is to 1. I hope that you do understand this. Let's quickly do number H just as well. I think, see now quickly. Number H is 2 is to 12. So if you put 2 over 12 on your calculator, it's going to give you 1 over 6. So it will be 1 to 6. If you divide with 2, it gives you 1 to 6. You guys, please remember that if they give it to you in ratio form and you do put it on your calculator, just remember to write your answer back into ratio form. It is important. Otherwise, remember they say usually without the use of a calculator, which means that which means that they do give marks for your calculations. So just make sure that even though you use a calculator to work it out, that you give it back into the form that they're asking you for. Then there was no number 8, but there was a number 9. They say give the rate asked in brackets for each statement below. 400 words in 15 minutes. So number 9A. 400 words in 9 minutes. And they are saying give it in words per minute. This means words divide by minutes. So it's going to be 400 words divided by 9 minutes, which gives you 400 divided by 9. Gives you 44,44 words per minute. Number B, 1,500 kilometers in 9 hours, and they're asking you for kilometers per hour. This means kilometers divided by hours, so it's going to be 1,500 divided by 9. Gives you 166,67 kilometers per hour. Number C, they're asking you for 58 kilometers per hour. So this is for 1 hour, and they're asking you for meters per second. So what you are going to do is you're going to take your kilometers first to meters. How do we convert kilometers to meters? How many kilometers are there in a meter? There's 1,000. So I'm going to have 58,000 meters. And 1 hour has how many seconds? Because this is per hour, so it's 1 hour and it's going to be 60 seconds. So it's going to be 58,000 divided by 60. So 58,000 divided by 60 gives you 966,67 meters per second. Let me just see if I'm right. Yeah. Okay, number D. Number D says 5 milliliters of baking powder per 100 grams of flours. And then they're asking you for grams per milliliter. So this means grams divided by milliliters. So I'm going to say 100 divided by 5. And that's going to give you 20. So it will be 20 grams per milliliter. Do you see that they are giving you exactly what you must do? Number E, 40 bricks per half hour. And then they're asking you for bricks per minute. You guys, how many minutes are there in half an hour? There's 30 minutes in half an hour. So I'm going to say bricks divided by minutes. So it will be 40 divided by 30. And that will give you 1,33 bricks per minute. I hope that makes sense. Number 10 is the last one that I'm going to do on this video. Oh my goodness. It's not going to be the last one I do on this video, but I'm not going to write it down. I'm going to say number 10 quickly. Number 10 says, say whether these relationships are direct or indirect proportional. So number A, they say the more alcohol you drink, the lower your driving ability becomes. So you guys remember, indirect is when the one goes up, the other one goes down. And direct is when the one goes up, this one goes up. Or if this one goes down, this one goes down as well. So direct moves the same, indirect moves like this. So the more alcohol you drink, the lower your driving ability is indirect proportional. Number B, for every 10 Rand you spend, a company donates 1 Rand to a children home. So for every 10 Rand you give, they give 1 Rand as well. So both of them goes up. So it's a direct proportion. Then number C, I can buy 5 sweets for 2 Rand and 10 sweets for 4 Rand and so on. So 5 sweets is 2 Rand. So 10 sweets is 4 Rand. It all goes up the same. Your money and the amount of sweets goes up. So it's direct proportional. Number D, it takes 4 builders 32 hours to build a wall. How long does it take 6 builders? You guys remember, when it comes to labor, always when we do direct and indirect proportion, the more people you have, the less time it takes. So the more people, the less time. So if I've got 4 builders is a small amount. It takes me a long time to do it. If I've got a little bit more builders, it's going to take me a little bit less time. So it's indirect. Then for every 500 Rand that I spend, I save 50 Rand. So both of them goes up. So if I'm going to spend 1,000 Rand, I'm going to save 100 Rand. So it's also direct. So your answers is indirect, direct, direct, indirect, and direct. Now number 11, you guys, I'm also just going to do the first 3. I'm going to do number 11 and then I'm going to stop the video and do number 12 on the next video. Okay, so number 11 says increase, and I say to you on the notes, remember increase means plus. So if I've got 11A, if I've got 479 by 18%, I'm going to say 18 over 100 because percentage is always over 100. So 479 times 18 over 100, it gives me 86.22. And I said you must plus because we are increasing this amount. So we're going to say plus 479. And that gives me then 565.22, which will be your final answer. Number B, I have to increase 5,400 by, it's not rands, by 96%. Percentage is always over 100. 5,400 times 96 over 100 gives you 5184. I have to go in plus because I'm increasing, so plus 5,400 gives me 10,584. Number C, you have to increase 33,000 by 30%. So 33,000 times 30 over 100 gives you 9,900. I'm increasing, so I have to take this and plus. So 33,000. And that gives me 42,900. Do you guys understand number 11? Must I quickly do number 2? It's going to be quick because we're not going to have to add. Number 12 says, what is 26% of 573? So number 12A, 573 times 26 over 100. So 573 times 26 over 100. Oh, not over 10, over 100. Make sure that you punch in correct on your calculator, eh? Gives you 148,98. And they just asked you what is, so you don't have to add anything. Number B, 32% of 48,000. So 48,000 times 32 over 100 gives you 15,360. Number C, they're asking you 92% of 13,289. So 13,289 times 92 over 100 gives you 12,225,88. Okay, so that's the end of the first video. You guys just follow these steps for the rest of them. I will make sure that I make them available, or we will give it to you as soon as the school starts. I'm not going to do all of it. I do not want to waste unnecessary data. But I think by the first 3, you know the method on how to do it. I will do number 13, 14, and 15 in the next video.